This is the video for Chapter 14, Section 5, the Nullification Crisis. Before we get started with this material, let's get the less than essential question back in our minds. How well did President Andrew Jackson promote democracy? Keep this question in mind as we go through this section. Let's also go over the vocabulary you will need to know in order to understand the content from this unit. The first word is a tariff. A tariff is a tax imposed by the government on goods imported from another country. So that would mean anything you're buying from another country that's coming into the United States, they would put a tariff or a tax on there as a way for the United States to get some money. To secede, or the word secede, means to withdraw from an organization or alliance. So the United States is an alliance or a group of states gathered together to form one country. So if you secede, you are leaving the group. Andrew Jackson's approach to government met its test in an issue that threatened to break up the United States. In 1828, Congress passed a law raising tariffs, or taxes on imported goods such as cloth and glass. The idea was to encourage the growth of manufacture in the United States. Higher tariffs meant that the products coming from other countries would cost more, so people would be more likely to buy American products. This meant that the American businesses would make more money and could therefore grow, and then more businesses means more money for America. Northern states loved this idea because this is where all the factories were. So the new factories in the north meant more jobs for everyone up north. In the southern states, they opposed the tariffs for several reasons. The tariffs raised the prices that they paid for factory goods. High tariffs also discouraged trade among nations, and planters in the South worried that the tariffs would hurt the cotton sales to other countries. Because remember, the South made most of their money by selling their cotton to countries other places in the world, and especially to Great Britain. In addition, many Southerners believed that a law favoring one region, in this case the North, was unconstitutional. Based on this belief, John C. Calhoun advised Andrew Jackson's vice president, called on the southern states to declare the tariff null and void, or illegal and not to be honored. Jackson understood the Southerners' concerns. In 1832, he signed a new law that lowered the tariffs, but not enough to satisfy the most extreme supporters of states' rights in South Carolina. Being led by John Calhoun, they proclaimed South Carolina's right to nullify or reject both the 1828 and the 1832 tariff laws. Such an action was called nullification. South Carolina then took it a step further and threatened to secede the national government or leave the United States if they tried to enforce these laws. In order to make sure that Jackson was able to follow through and force the states to follow the new tariffs, he passed a law, or a bill, called the Force Bill, which would allow him to use a federal army to collect the tariffs if he needed to. At the same time, Congress also passed another bill that lowered the tariffs a little bit more for the South. This allowed South Carolina to calm down and to back out of seceding the Union,